Hello everyone, welcome to Red Snapper. My name's MJ, and today I'm going to be discussing my proposals for how I would fix card acquisition in Marvel Snap. First of all, let's discuss a little bit about how card acquisition currently works. We get cards via either a Season Pass and Season Pass card, special events such as Deadpool's Diner and High Voltage, or most commonly through Spotlight Caches. After they're available in Spotlight Caches, they then either come into a series drop and they drop down and we're able to acquire them more easily by buying them at a cheaper price, of course, or they reappear in Spotlight Caches, or they become available in bundles. So that's what currently happens, and it's clearly not working. Now, there's some interesting and important things that I think we need to maintain if we're considering how we would improve card acquisition. One of them, and I think the most important factor, is that a couple of years ago, I think it was, when they first launched the game, they said that the way that obtaining cards worked, they wanted to keep it so that people can't get all the cards, or at least can't get all the cards easily, because it's fun and interesting having unique collections and everyone has slightly different cards. And I actually do think, as much as it somewhat pains me to say it, I actually do think that's quite an important factor, because if I think about my position with my collection in Marvel Snap, I think if I had everything, I think I'd be less excited to get new cards. So I think that element is really important, and also it's also important to say that if you compare Marvel Snap to other card games, they're stuffed with filler. Marvel Snap, every single card does something important, even cards that are a little bit weaker like Mantis or Selene. They all do something unique, and they all have much more, or generally on average they have more value than cards in other card games. So whilst we'll try and maintain that and keep that the same, you can let me know in the comments below if you think that's the wrong way to go. But whilst we're trying to maintain that, we also need to consider how we can make cards cheaper and make them easier to acquire, because there's a healthy middle ground here. Make it easier to catch up so that new and returning players are able to obtain cards more easily, and also remove the mystery of series drops. They currently happen pretty much at random and we don't know what's going to drop. But before we get into the improvements, here is a giveaway for a green cosmic border. You need to have subscribed to the channel and liked this video, then leave a comment to tell me who you would use the green cosmic border on. I will pick someone, but you do need to have a way for me to contact you, so Blue Sky, Twitter, TikTok, whatever it may be. Anyway, so let's start with my proposals. Number one, this might sound counterintuitive, but I would create a Series 6 and I would move cards up into it. So this Series 6 level, it would be like the big bads, the really huge characters, the tentpoles, the archetype creators. There's a couple of the examples on screen here, Galactus and Thanos. These cards wouldn't ever drop, or would occasionally drop if there was like a special event in the game or anything like that, but there would be a core set of characters that would never drop. How is this improving card acquisition? Stay tuned. The next thing I would change is, along with this change in creation of a Series 6, I change the costs of the series, actually increasing Series 4 to 4,000 tokens, just because it's elegant for 4,000. I'd make Series 5 5,000, so I'd actually reduce the cost of them, but then I would move the 6,000 cost up onto the Series 6 cards. It also brings them all slightly together in cost, so it means that the cards are all valued a bit more similarly, which I think would improve it. But Red Snapper, MJ, what are you doing? You've increased the price of Series 4. Doesn't this mean we'll get less cards, not more? Well, because of these change in prices, I would increase the distribution of tokens, so we'd get more tokens. So yes, I've increased the price of some things. To be fair, I've sort of reduced the price of the Series 5 cards, sort of, as well. But I think it makes a bit more sense, and it's a bit more intuitive and easier to understand. And we're going to get more tokens, so you would be able, in this world that I am envisioning, you'd be able to get more. Series drops, they would be completely scheduled. They would no longer be random, so you would know what you're dealing with. So as we said, or as I said, Series 6 cards, they wouldn't drop, or they'd only drop via special events. Maybe it might be something to coincide with a film, or maybe, you know, we could be talking a year down the road of this new system, and second edition just felt like they would need a change. Maybe they'd drop occasionally, but pretty much Series 6 is mostly set. So you at least know that you can have confidence to buy those cards, and they wouldn't be dropping, and if they are dropping, you'd know well in advance. However, with Series 5 and Series 4, they would drop after 4 months each. It's set in stone, it's solid, it wouldn't be to the day, it would be within like the one month window of that 4 months, but they will drop. So you can plan it. If you can't get it in a Spotlight Cache, you'll be like, okay, I know I'll be able to get it in at most 4 months when it does definitely drop. So it gives us more clarity and information. I would then improve Spotlight Caches by giving more rewards and more incentive to spend keys on them. If we've got more tokens and we have the ability to buy all these cards and we know when things are dropping, we may have less incentive to buy Spotlight Caches. So by improving what's in a Spotlight Cache, maybe the example on screen here is maybe you get a title, not a massive incentive, but still, maybe you get a special border. Maybe you can use it on any card, or maybe it's locked to an individual character, and maybe it's a complementary border. So for Black Knight, maybe it could be like an Ebony Blade themed border, and maybe you get some boosters in there as well, or even a special kind of avatar border that you can put on any of avatar that you've got for that character. That could be an interesting one. I would then introduce what everyone is asking for, duplicate protection. Now, we did actually receive a slight improvement that I think is coming in January from Second Dinner, where if we roll into a card that we have already, instead of getting 1,000 tokens like we do now, we'll actually get 2,000 tokens. Well, I just remove that completely and just make it duplicate protection. I think I would still have it pop up saying you rolled for Cersei, you already own her, and then you do have to convert, and it re-rolls, because I think actually you take that experience, which currently is a really negative one, it comes up saying you've already got it, you're like, oh brilliant, convert, and then you get 1,000 tokens. Like, that feels bad. But if you roll, know you hit a duplicate, and then you can turn that into a card that you need, you're completely flipping it to be from a bad feeling to be a good feeling, so it releases endorphins. Absolutely fantastic. I would also introduce a Spotlight Trove, or some other name, a special bonus for opening 4 caches in a week. So if you plan to open 4, or you know you're going to open 4, or you open even 3, and you could open a 4th to get this special bonus, maybe it's an extra incentive to do that. And also just makes it not feel bad if you do only need that 1 new card in a week and you are rolling and it takes you to 4, it removes, or at least it makes the feel bad element of that feel a little bit better. So maybe a Spotlight Trove could have like a mystery variant, or maybe a premium mystery variant. Maybe it could have some currency in there, and maybe some special borders. It could be special borders that you can only get from Spotlight Troves, shining gold or something treasury like that. Or maybe it could be borders that complement the Spotlight Week. And finally, introducing a better catch-up system. So maybe introduce catch-up caches for new and returning players. Maybe if they've been away for 4, 5 months or however long, or for newer players, they at certain points they unlock these catch-up caches, they open them up and it's just absolutely brimming with cards. It could even be a mixture of like a Series 6 cards, a handful or a couple of Series 5 cards, and then a load of Series 4 cards. Maybe even they could be bundled up into archetypal packages, so maybe you get like a discard package with Scorn and Proxima Midnight, something like that. But some way to improve this experience for new players and returning players as we get further and further into the life of Marvel Snap, and there's so many cards. And yeah, it can make it very difficult for newer players to really engage with specific archetypes. I mean, that discard example, Proxima Midnight, if you don't have her, you really can feel somewhat locked out of certain archetypes. But that is what I would propose. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. How would you Brilliant. How would you fix it? How would you fix it? Are you happy with any of these suggestions? Do you hate any of these suggestions? Let me know. Is there something obvious that I've missed? If you liked this video, it would really help me out if you liked it, as in click like, and if you subscribe or turn on notifications, that'd be great as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Cheers.